Chapter 3. Bloody Vines. Andy looks forward, facing the voice. He sees Peter emerging from the darkness, his body half pitch black and glitchy. "Hello again," Peter greeted the apple with a creepy smile. "What do you want from me?" Andy exclaimed while trying to wriggle free. Peter laughed to himself. "Andy, was it? It's quite simple," he stated while slowly pacing around Andy. Andy watched as Peter paced around him. He stopped right in front of him and turned towards him. "I simply want for you to eliminate your friends." "What? You don't understand, do you?" he questioned Andy. "No, I don't," the troubled teen replied, still trying to escape the vines that held him captive under Peter's command. "Kill your friends," Peter stated with a harsh, cold glare. "What? No, I would never do such a thing," Andy lashed out. "One way or another, they will die. Either by my hands or yours. I will never harm any of them. And neither will you," Andy shouted, not knowing what he was getting himself into. "Do you really think you can stop me?" Peter hummed. "And what are you going to do?" Andy realized what he meant. He was still tied up, couldn't get free, and Peter is going to kill his friends. "I'll stop you before you can harm them, you monster." "Well, then," he started with a creepy smile, "I guess I'll just have to get rid of you first." As Peter clenched his fist, the vines tightened up and started strangling Andy. Struggling to breathe, Andy kept trying to break free. Peter watched the apple as he struggled to break free and evade death. He smiled sadistically. As he raised his other hand, a lone vine rose from the ground behind Andy. "Lights out, kid." Peter jerks his hand towards him. Wah! The vine stabs through Andy's chest, causing him to scream in pain. Peter puts his hand down, causing the bloody vine to retract back into the ground. Peter clenches his fist once more, almost killing the kid, then had the vines let him go. As the vines let Andy go, he fell to the ground, half dead. Meanwhile, the others waited outside for Andy to return, wondering what was taking him a long time. "We pretty much put his keys in plain sight. He should have been back by now," Margaret stated. "Do you think something happened to him?" Melody chimed worriedly. "It's the barn, Melody. Not one of those prisons in the books you read," Felix informed his friend, even though he wasn't so sure himself. "Maybe you're right. Maybe he is fine and is just a bit slow at finding his keys," Melody said to calm herself down. Suddenly, a childlike scream of pain pierced through the air. "What was that?" Melody exclaimed. "That sounded like Andy," Claus interrupted Margaret. Claus ran to the barn and the others followed close behind him. When they got the barn doors open, Claus immediately ran inside in search of Andy. Claus eventually found a previously lit lantern on the ground. He picked it up, lit it, and continued searching. "Andy! Andy, where are you?" Claus yelled as he ran through the vast barn. Claus heard something ahead of him, so he ran to check it out. "Andy, is that you?" He got closer and closer. "Andy?" Claus kept moving until his foot bumped into something. When he looked, he was met with a tragic and disturbing sight. Andy